Jesus, the Good Shepherd, declares, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me." John 10:27. Jesus also declares, "He who belongs to God hears what God says. The reason you do not hear is that you do not belong to God." John 8:47. How then do we listen to God? The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the entire assembly of Israel and say to them, 'Be holy, because I, the Lord your God, am holy.'" Leviticus 19:1-2. Furthermore, Jesus said, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." Matthew 5:6. "My people, the Egyptians, that sanctify themselves before going to war and when they sin." When God wanted to meet with the assembly of the Israelites in the wilderness, he asked them to be clean. That's righteous and holy, because he is superlatively clean, righteous and holy. So that his cleanness, righteousness and holiness will not be compromised when he meets with them. If we were invited to meet with the Queen in Buckingham Palace, meet with the President at the White House, or attend a wedding, we would dress cleanly, honorably, elegantly, and gracefully. Similarly, we must be clean, righteous, and holy so that we can consummate our wonderful relationship with our righteous and holy Creator, who loves us with an everlasting love and longs to bestow on us outstanding eternal glory and riches that this ephemeral world can never give us. Jesus declared, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." Matthew 5:8. How can we see God if he is formless? The scriptures testify emphatically that God created man in his image and likeness. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image and likeness." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Genesis 1:26-27. The Lord reigns. Let the nations tremble. He sits enthroned between the cherubim. Let the earth shake. Psalm 99:1. He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and its people are like grasshoppers. Isaiah 40:22. How then can we see God? Can any great scientific or technological equipment, such as the Hubble telescope, enable mankind see God? No. As already shown above, Jesus declared, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." Matthew 5:8. In this regard, the scriptures command us thus, make every effort to live in peace with all men and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. Hebrews 12:14. It is also written, "Who may ascend the hill of the Lord? Who may stand in his holy place? He who has clean hands and a pure heart, who does not lift up his soul to an idol or swear by what is false." Psalm 24:3-4. Prophet Isaiah testifies eloquently as follows: "In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord seated on a throne, high and exalted, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above him were seraphs, each with 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their faces, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they were flying, and they were calling to one another, 'Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty, the whole earth is full of his glory.' At the sound of their voices, the doorpost and threshold shook, and the temple was filled with smoke. 'Woe to me,' I cried, 'I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips, and my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty.' Then one of the seraphs flew to me with a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with tongues from the altar. With it, he touched my mouth and said, 'See, this has touched your lips, and your guilt is taken away, and your sin atoned for.' Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I said, Here am I, send me. He said, Go and tell these people, be ever hearing but never understanding, be ever seeing but never perceiving. Make the heart of these people calloused, make their ears dull and close their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed. Then I said, For how long, O Lord? And he answered, Until the cities lie ruined and without inhabitant, until the houses are deserted and the fields ruined and ravaged, until the Lord has sent everyone far away, and the land is utterly forsaken. And though a tent remains in the land, it will again be laid waste. But as the terebinth and oak leave stumps when they are cut down, so the holy seed will be a stump in the land. Isaiah 6, 1-13. Prophet Ezekiel's corroborative testimony is as follows. In the 30th year, in the 4th month, on the 5th day, while I was among the exiles by the Keba River, the heavens opened and I saw visions of God. I looked and I saw a windstorm coming out of the north, an immense cloud with flashing lightning and surrounded by brilliant light. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal, and in the fire was what looked like 4 living creatures. Spread out above the heads of the living creatures was what looked like an expanse, sparkling like eyes, and awesome. When the creatures moved, I heard the sound of their wings like the roar of rushing waters, like the voice of the Almighty, like the tumult of an army. Then there came a voice from above the expanse over their heads as they stood with lowered wings. Above the expanse over their heads was what looked like a throne of sapphire, and high above on the throne was a figure like that of a man. I saw that from what appeared to be his waist up, it looked like glowing metal, as if full of fire, and that from there down it looked like fire, and brilliant light surrounded him. Like the appearance of a rainbow in the clouds on a rainy day, so was the radiance around him. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. When I saw it, I fell face down, and I heard the voice of one speaking. Ezekiel 1, 1-28. He said to me, Son of man, stand up on your feet, and I will speak to you. As he spoke, the Spirit came into me and raised me to my feet. And I heard him speaking to me. He said, Son of man, I am sending you to the Israelites, to a rebellious nation that has rebelled against me. They and their fathers have been in revolt against me to this very day. Then I looked, and I saw a hand stretched out to me. In it was a scroll, which he unrolled before me. On both sides of it were written words of lament and mourning and woe. And he said to me, Son of man, eat what is before you. Eat this scroll, then go and speak to the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he gave me the scroll to eat. Then he said to me, Son of man, go now to the house of Israel and speak my words to them. I will make your forehead like the hardest stone, harder than flint. Do not be afraid of them or terrified by them, though they are a rebellious house. Ezekiel 2, 1-9. Daniel the prophet also gave this outstanding testimony. As I looked, thrones were set in place, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was as white as snow. The hair of his head was white like wool. His throne was flaming with fire, and its wheels were all ablaze. A river of fire was flowing, coming out from before him. Thousands upon thousands attended him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were opened. I kept looking until the beast was slain and his body destroyed and thrown into the blazing fire. The other beasts had been stripped of their authority, but were allowed to live for a period of time.